So these are some foods and drinks used in the conversation. Let's go through what they said. We've got some apples, but there aren't any grapes. We've got some tea, but there isn't any coffee. Again, we've got some apples, but there aren't any grapes. Any grapes. We have got some tea, but there isn't any coffee. Any coffee. As you can see, we used some and any with both countable and uncountable words. We use them with countable plural words like some apples, apples, not some apple, some apples, and some tea, uncountable words, some tea. We used any with both also countable and uncountable. We used it with countable plurals, any grapes, grapes, and we use it with uncountable singular words such as coffee. There isn't any coffee, any coffee. Now you might ask me the difference between some and any. Yes, I know you know it, Abdullah. That's right, your answer is correct. Some, we use it in the positive sentence and we use any in the negative and the question. Check the example. We've got some apples. We have got some tea. In case it's negative, there aren't any grapes. There isn't any coffee. Is there any orange juice? We use it in the question. Let's check some more examples. Grandpa gave some chocolate to the kids. Some chocolate, a positive sentence. Mike hasn't got any mugs. It's a negative, so we used any. Mike hasn't got any mugs. Diane keeps some photos in her bag. Some photos. Did you buy, yes, any butter yesterday? Did you buy any butter yesterday? Question. We used any. Ali never drinks any coffee. That's correct. Yes, it's correct. Is it a positive sentence? You're right, it's negative because never. Ali never drinks any coffee. You can't use some coffee. For more information and more ways to use some and any, check this video. I have attached a video on how to use some and any in English sentences. So watch the video, check the information in there, and then continue our class. Let's go. Welcome back. You see how we used some and any with all these sentences and questions. Quickly to sum it up, we use some in positive sentences, but we use any in, that's right, both negative and questions. Correct. We use some and any with both countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Let's check our understanding. Let's answer these sentences together. 1. There are apples in my basket. Let's complete with some or any. There are apples in my basket. Great. Some apples. That's right. It's a positive sentence. 2. Do you buy books? Excellent. Any books? Do you buy any books? There isn't milk at home. There isn't milk at home. Excellent. Any milk. There isn't any milk at home. That's right. I eat soup. I eat some soup. Excellent. Some. A positive sentence. Number 5. There are pens. There are some pens. Excellent. Number 6. Have they got money? Have they got any money? Excellent. 7. I am writing tests today. I am writing some tests. Excellent. The last one, you cannot read newspapers in the cafe. You can't read, that's correct, any newspapers in this cafe because it's a negative sentence. Great answer, everyone. I hope that's clear and I hope you understood. So let's move on. We'll go to our next topic. Let's continue the conversation, or let's get back to the conversation between Victor and Sam. They're talking about shopping at the supermarket. They'll go shopping for some foods and drinks. We remember most of them. So let's check what they said about orange juice. Is there any orange juice? Look at the answer. There is a little, but there isn't much. There is a little, but there isn't much. A little. Yeah, yes, I know, a little. Not a lot, not much. A little and much. So, what did they say about carrots? Look, have we got many vegetables? He said, I can see a few carrots. A few carrots. But there aren't many onions. There aren't many onions. Now, let's compare what they said about orange juice and carrots. Sam said, a little orange juice. There isn't much orange juice. But he said, I can see a few carrots. But there aren't many onions. There aren't many onions. With orange juice, he used a little and much. But with onions and carrots, he used many and a few. Many and a few. Yes, you're right, guys, that's true. We use a little and much with uncountable nouns. We can say much orange juice, much milk, a little orange juice, a little coffee. But with countable nouns, we use many and a few. You can say many carrots, many onions, a few eggs, a few apples. Let's check more examples. He said, we need a lot of crisps and not a lot of crisps. How's that different from many and much? So, back to the conversation, we used a lot of, many, much, a few, and a little. Let's check. We use a lot of with both countable and uncountable. We can say a lot of crisps. We can say a lot of coffee. Yes. We can use it with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. For example, we can say a lot of cheese, a lot of milk, a lot of sugar, a lot of money, uncountable nouns. And we can also use it with countable nouns. A lot of potatoes, a lot of carrots, a lot of apples, a lot of students. On the other hand, many and much are different. Many is used with countable nouns. We can say many cars, many tomatoes, many bananas, many chairs. We said that many and a few, we use them with countable nouns. Much and a little used with uncountable nouns. Again, many and a few, we use them with countable nouns. Much and a little are used with uncountable nouns. Now, what about a lot of? A lot of is used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Check more examples. We can say many cars, many tomatoes, many bananas, many chairs, but we say much juice, much water, much ice, much time. I can say a few mangoes, a few crisps, a few friends, a few animals, but I have to say a little cola. I can't say a few cola, little bread, little homework, a little English. He speaks a little English. Another difference is I use a lot of in positive sentences, but many and much are used in negatives and questions. For example, I have a lot of cheese. I have a lot of cheese. But I don't have many tomatoes. I don't have many tomatoes. There isn't much water. There isn't much water. Is there? Is there many chairs? Sorry, is there many? Well, is there many juice left? Is there a lot of juice left? We can use it also in the question. Is there a lot of juice left? Yes, there is a lot of juice left. Or no, there isn't much juice left. There isn't much juice left. Right? So let's check our understanding. Check more examples. My mother only allows me to eat a little junk food every week. A little. Why? Because junk food is uncountable. Junk food, uncountable. We use a little. Another example. How much salt did you put in the spaghetti? How much salt did you put in the spaghetti? Salt. Uncountable. We use much. There are only a few questions to answer on this paper. There are only a few questions. Questions. Countable nouns. We use a few. We have got a lot of apples. A lot of apples. I think there are 30 of them. A lot of apples. Apples. Countable nouns. A lot of. Teachers shouldn't give too much homework to students. Much homework. Uncountable nouns. Use much. This is a popular tourist spot, so there are always a lot of visitors. A lot of visitors. A lot of comes with countable and uncountable nouns. Look at the sky. The stars are too many to count. Too many. Many. Because I'm talking about the stars, it's countable nouns, so we use many. Many. Don't use much. So I hope you understood by these examples. So let's check our standing before going to the next topic. Let's practice what we have studied. Let's start with first example or the first activity. Let's complete with some or any. We focus. 1. Have you got brothers or sisters? Yes. Have you got correct any brothers or sisters? Because it's question. 2. We don't need olive oil. Yes, it's negative, so we use any. We don't need any olive oil. 3. Here are letters for you. Letters. Yes, letters is countable and it's also a positive sentence, so we use some. Here are some letters for you. I need money. Correct. It's a positive sentence, so we use some. I need some money. 5. Is there petrol in the car? Is there petrol in the car? The word petrol is uncountable, but check the sentence. Is it positive? Is it negative or a question? It's a question, so we use some or any with the question. With general questions, we use any. Is there any petrol in the car? Is there any petrol in the car? Great answers, everyone. Here we go. Now, let's move to the next activity.